I mean, Jung pointed out that the psyche is as real as the outer world and as objective as the outer world. So the psyche is vast. In fact, there's no separation between the so-called inner world of psyche and the outer world of matter. They're the same thing. And we've got this, he pointed out, we have this little bubble which we call our ego, and we think that's all we are. And that's an illusion. And it wasn't just Jung who pointed it out, all the great religions point that out. And so what we need to do is connect. I mean, we need an ego in order to live in the world. Of course we do. We shouldn't get rid of our ego, but we should help the ego to connect with something far vaster than itself, which is in the psyche, which, as I said, is both the world outside and the world within. And he said that we all have, this is his language, we all have a God image within us. So there is a God, there is something divine in nature. And it's left this little connection with that divinity. Everyone has that connection with the divine intelligence that created the whole universe. I don't mean created in the creationist sense. You know, we know how it happened through natural selection, etc., etc. You know, so there's no reason for ditching science at all. I have to make that clear, because creationism is wrong, basically, I think. It doesn't stand up to the evidence. But anyway, so back to Jung. So everyone has this, and this is ancient wisdom. You know, we've had this wisdom in humanity for millennia. It's only Western culture that's ditched all this and become utterly materialistic. So the insight is, the knowledge is that everyone has, let me use Jung's language, a God image within. The God image is part of us, you know. We have our masculine side, our feminine side, we have our negative side, but everybody has that little spark of the cosmic intelligence. Because after all, we were made by it. We've come out of it. So in order to be really happy and content, and in order to solve the problem, everyone needs to work primarily to connect with the divinity within, the God within, and use Jung's language. I don't like to use the word God, but I'm just using Jung's language. He called it the self with a capital S. And there are things you can do to experience the self, or to make a connection with the self. There's meditation, there's Jungian psychoanalysis, there's ritual, there's fasting in nature. There's all sorts of things that people have been doing for thousands and thousands of years like that. And in the West we have alchemy that was very concerned with that. But modernity doesn't recognize any of this. That's the problem. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question.
No, you are.
So
Totally.
that's what we need to do. It's quite simple. Everyone needs to find out who they really are, which is, who we really are is the cosmos, nature, the divine intelligence. That's who we are. We're little aspects of the divine intelligence in a human form. And if we could all feel that and experience that directly, not as a belief, but as real, genuine knowledge, then of course you're going to be kind to other people and you're going to be kind to nature, because it's all part of the same divine energy that created you. It's all part of you. I mean, these are old teachings from all the great religions. They say exactly the same thing in different ways. So like Jung said, our problem is a religious problem. We've lost our knowledge of how to connect with something wider than ourselves, something greater than ourselves. We've lost our myth. That's why I think Jung is so important.
Yeah. No, he is. I love that. Yeah.
I don't talk about Jung. I do a bit at the college, yeah, of course I do. But you have to be careful with Jung, because he can become yet another cult, you know, like Steiner and all of that.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have to be careful. Jung wouldn't like that. Jung would want you to be really yourself.
Yeah.
But I think it's his psychology that's basically established on fruitful grounds. And then there's other people who worked after him, like Thomas More and James Hillman and many others, who've recognized the reality of the psyche and the fact that all of us have this divinity within.
That's it definitely feels like the sort of work